Good morning. It's Artzenin. I had a doctor's appointment. And my mother took the car. We only have one car, so I am very much dependent on having her car to go places. And she's in Lexington, so I had to call the doctor to have them reschedule for later in the day. So since that's a thing, I'm gonna get on here and I'm going to expand on Snapshot. So there's something else that is very unique about Snapshot that I didn't touch on yesterday that I think the readers definitely should take notice of. It's the title, Snapshot. So for this to make more sense, I need to rewind to 2015. In 2015, I made a fan fiction series called Life is in Bliss. It was my Life is Strange fan fiction collection of fan fiction writings that pertain strictly to Life is Strange. And originally, it was only one fan fiction called Summer Vacation. But then it progressed. The more they were dropping episodes, and then Before the Storm came out, and Rachel Amber's personality was more refined and revealed, I went back and rewrote all of Summer Vacation. And then the fans of my work, they basically said we wanted more, so I broke it down into spring break, fall break, winter break, summer vacation. From there, it evolved into me focusing on Max's rewind power. Well, all of the powers that the girls had. And if you're wondering, how does this deal with your title for Snapshot? I'm getting there. So Max was rewinding time and making alternate realities because of her previous decisions. So if she was going on the left path that led to a barn and she rewound, then the new path is she goes right and it leads to the city. Well, the Max who went to the barn still exists. I know it's confusing, but that's how they apparently have Life is Strange set up when it comes to Max's gift, from what I understand. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So, using that concept, I made a fan fiction specifically that tried to play with that. And it was kind of crazy because I know parallel universes don't exist. I was just trying to see if I could Christianize something like that. It's not possible. That's why I wrote it. I was trying to figure out, is there any way this could spiritually work, etc. No, there wasn't. But I still wrote the fan fiction. And when Max continued in the fan fiction of my story, continued to rewind time, she eventually gets sick and tired of trying to save Chloe Price and Rachel Amber. She sacrificed herself over and over for these people who were behaving selfishly and didn't really take her feelings into account. So there was a reality where Max said, you know what? Forget Chloe, forget Rachel. I'm going to focus on me. And she became what was known as a snapshot photographer. It was her title. She went to France. She finally did her dream because in the game, the original canon, she wanted to be a photographer. She wanted to become a big shot photographer. And Chloe joked with her when they were kids saying, you could be that and I could be your Laura Croft, I'll be your bodyguard. So I took that loophole that they had discussed and I made Snapshot. And in Snapshot, the Life is Strange fiction Snapshot, Max was rewinding time to not save Chloe and Rachel, but to see what life would have been like either without Chloe and Rachel and her deeply involved with them, or life with Chloe and Rachel, but her never stopping the storm. You have to go play Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm to understand what that's even about. I'm not even getting into that. It's the whole butterfly effect, also a false mythology and pagan teaching. Even if they're just going to push fantasy, that's a very dangerous thing to entertain. But Chloe Price was the butterfly effect in that. Google it. Chloe Price was the butterfly effect. So the storm was happening because not only Max rewinding time, but because Chloe was connected to the butterfly effect with this. And her spirit animal was a butterfly. But anyway, in the fan fiction Snapshot, eventually Chloe meets Max again. And when she does, she's in the mob world. Rachel is also in the mob world. Max was just a drunk photographer. She was so frustrated and angry that no matter how much she tried to escape what I labeled the curse, because again, we don't, as the players, know why these kids are getting these powers and how it starts where it stops and why it seemed as if no one could escape it. She was rewinding time and just waiting for someone basically to kill her or for her to die naturally. Like, she thought, if I die in this particular reality, then everything dies. So in France, as a snapshot photographer, she was just waiting for it to happen, right? The day when somebody who wasn't Chloe or Rachel or the storm or anything else, third party supernatural interference, would just take her out. That didn't happen. And I got all the way up to episode 7 in that snapshot. So the whole thing with my snapshot is using a lot of what I did in the fan fiction, recycling it and then representing it in a moral Christian way. But that's not the only thing that makes Snapshot interesting. You know, it's a bonus that it was a fan fiction of Life is Strange, and a good one too. I had a lot of responses with Snapshot, but my Christian Snapshot, it's centered right in Maxine Sarsfield. Maxine's eyes, she has the power of sight. So with this power, she can go places and look at people and remember everything, every little detail. It's like a recorded movie in her head. She sees it play live in her head. People have memories when they just sort of sit and they look around or they ponder. Max, it's as if she is right there, reliving every instance, every feeling, every moment. That's what the power allows her to see, is the event itself. It's not just a mere memory. It is the event, all of it. She's just seeing it. And it's flashing before her eyes so quickly, it's almost like the speed of light, but she can see it and catch it, and she maintains those moments in her head. She can see super, super far away and super, super close. It's like her eyes is like a lens of a camera because of this power. So her vision, she is farsighted and nearsighted in both of her eyes. I am personally farsighted and nearsighted. Far, near. Maxine is both in her eyes, spontaneously all the time, and it doesn't mess up her vision. She can see in the dark because of this gift, and she's valuable to the people in Lee Ji-yu for this very reason. When the right people learn about Max's power, they want her in Lee Ji-yu. Why? Because if you have a person that can basically record with her eyes and remember all of these specific details, even the minor ones, the stupidest of insignificant details, and these kings and queens are trying to take out the other kings and queens and territories, that's espionage. Max, my Max, would be the golden goose. She is the ultimate power play. She is desired because of her gift. That's what makes Snapshot, the title, so unique and beautiful for for those two reasons. It is the salvaged version of the secular Snapshot that was a Life is Strange fan fiction. And it's also specifically emphasizing Maxine Sarsfield's gift. Because this is following Maxine. There are a lot of other characters that will come into her life or just orbit around her or whispered in the shadows, but it is going to primarily, the whole series of Snapshot will be focusing on Maxine. I think that's a great way to tie everything together. I realize that the title is not catchy. It's not impressive, but it doesn't need to be. When I think of titles for my designs, for my works, they need to be purposeful. And I thought that this was exceptionally personal and had purpose. I just love it. I absolutely love it. However, there are some complications I am running into. For example, in the fan fiction, because I knew that it was the universe of Life is Strange, I got away with the time power thing over there. And I got away with the concept of alternate realities. So I have to take the episodes I've already written for the fan fiction and reconstruct it, break it down, cut, edit, delete. That is proving to be a challenge all on its own, but I can do it. And FYI, just in case you guys are wondering, why are you engaging with secular content if you are a Christian? King Solomon went to test everything to see if it was folly or wisdom, and the Lord allowed him to do it. Some of the things he tested was not so Christian. I'm not saying I'm Solomon and I just get away with anything that man did, but what I did do is I went to the Lord and I said, can I observe certain themes within reason to see what it is people like about it, and then take it back to the studio, back to Anointed Works, and my team discuss how to purify these things. And then it happened. The Lord showed me a scripture that justifies what I do, taking the impurities out of the silver to make it presentable to the king. And when observing, one can observe, but they do not engage, they do not endorse, they do not promote the paganism and the sin and the iniquities that are going on. So that's what I'm doing. Not every game I can do that with, and not every manga and anime I can sit down and read or play. It just won't happen. It can't happen. It's too evil. It's too dark. But at the same time, a Google search, a Wikipedia review will tell me everything I really need to know if I'm truly curious about a certain title and wondering, can I Christianize that? But with Life is Strange, I liked the concept they presented, but I could not get on with the full emphasis of lifestyles and the profanity. I don't need to go further. I'm not about that life, no pun intended, and I'm not going to continue to support, honestly, my rivals. I mean, I had to buy the games to play them. And then I basically just got tired of typing for Lucifer because he owns Life is Strange. It's his works, not the Lord's. I'm looking forward to further purifying Life is Strange, something I thought about for 5 years prior to the first game dropping. And now it's happening, and I'm very proud. I'm very excited to do this. I'll be back with another interesting Snapshot update. Until then, be safe. Have a great day. Much love. Bye.